It is a beautiful evening for baseball here at Rec Park in Healdsburg, California. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hugo Traverso. I'm joined alongside me by our analyst, Mr. Numbers, Jacob Jannicelli. The Healdsburg Prune Packers coming into this game in first place and in control of their own destiny face a formidable league opponent, the Lincoln Potters, coming up from North Sacramento. The Potters coming into this game 22-6. Packers 22-2. This is a big game not only for the Packers but for Lincoln, as if the Potters want any chance of staying in the mix for the PEL championship, they need to win the game. We'll look at their starting lineup. Leading off is Ben Griffiths. Following him, the secondary table center, Tristan Russell from the University of Houston. In the three-hole from the University of California, Davis, Jason Hansen. Batting cleanup from Troy University, Ty McGraw. From Regis, batting fifth, Adam Paniagua. From LSU, by way of Del Oro High School, Mason Belding. From Dallas Baptist in the 7-hole, Brian Williams. Texas Christian, Cole Eaton in the 8-hole. And rounding up the lineup from UC Davis, Corey Williams. He'll be in left field. The Packers will start Cole Tremaine, the veteran from the University of California, Berkeley. It's going to be an incredible game tonight. Thank you all for joining us here at Recreation Park. And the umpire motions for play ball. It should be a great one. Cole Tremaine's first pitch is fired in at the knees and fouled off. For the Packers, around the infield and outfield, Hideki Prather at catcher. He will make up the battery with Cole Tremaine as Tremaine fires this one in there for another called strike. 0-2 now. In the infield for the Packers is going to be Cade Ladahoff at first, Antonelli Savateri at second, J.C. Agard at short, and then Logan Sutter at third as that pitches in for a ball. So it'll go 1-2 in the outfield. Jacob French in left, Jay Souza in center, and Alex Leopard in right. Jacob Jannicelli is alongside me. What have you seen from Cole Tremaine? He's only had one start with the Packers.
Yeah, he's got a great pitch mix. Four-seam, two-seam, cutter, slider, and a changeup that he will use sparingly. But a lot of great stuff on this guy. Yeah, only one start, but he's been great so far.
Well, that one's fouled off.
He'll throw a slider upwards of 45% of the time. Really great pitch. He'll throw it for strikes and for chases.
Tries to get the chase there. That one is just outside, maybe clipped the zone and missed it by a hair. This one is flied into foul territory down the third base line. Over on it is the third baseman, Sutter, and he will make the catch. Ben Griffiths is retired. Packers have been dominant at home, to say the least. 20-1 home record. Potters not as much. 19-4 at home. One of those losses coming against the Packers last night, and 2 road losses this year, so they're trying to improve their record here, especially in conference play where they currently sit. We'll look at the standings in just a moment. They currently sit in 4th place at 6-5.
A big week for the Rogues, Crabs, and Potters. Prior to this week, they all were tied at 21 wins in overall play. The Rogues have back-to-back 3-game series against both the Crabs and the Potters this week, so time to change things up. So that is flied out foul. Count now 1-2.
It's been a fantastic summer here for both teams. Packers, the status quo as it's been for the past 10 years. Potters, not as much. That one up high. Count will go 2-2. It is the man batting 352, excuse me, from the University of Houston, Tristan Russell. 3 homers, 31 RBIs for him. Do you know anyone that went to the University of Houston, Jacob?
Personally?
Personally, yes.
No.
One is low, and the count will go full. Some notable people. One of the most notable people who's gone there is someone who's in my line of work, as that one catches the bottom corner of the strike zone to sit Russell down. Quickly 2 down for the Pack. But a notable alumni of the University of Houston, Jim Nance, professional broadcaster. Now Jason Hansen stands in from UC Davis. A lot of Aggies on this Lincoln Potters team. That one is upstairs, 1-0. Hansen, he is a walk machine, 22 walks this year as he flies this one out over on the warning track, and making the catch is Jay Souza, and that'll do it for the top of the first. We'll stay right here. We'll look at the Packers lineup and what Lincoln will look like around the outfield. So for the Packers, actually we'll come back and look at the lineup. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And we're back here. Jay Souza leads things off for the Packers. It'll be Souza followed by Alex Leopard, and then Logan Sutter. The 4-5-6 will be Jacob French, JC Agard, and Blake Grimmer. And then rounding out that lineup will be Cade Ladahoff, Hideki Prather, and Antonelli Savatere. So dynamic lineup here with the Packers.
Yeah, Souza's been great all year. As that misses for a ball on the first pitch. Decent pull hitter, likes hitting center and right center. Good whiff and good chase numbers, hitting almost 300 on the year. So that is grounded to the right side of the infield. Flip back to the pitcher, but thrown away. That'll be an error on the first baseman as Souza reaches first.
Yeah, tough wide throw there. And now it is Alex Leopard, the local kid out of Annaley High School, currently at the University of California, San Diego. Potters around the infield. It is Adam Paniagua behind the plate for them. And then Ty McGraw, Ben Griffiths, Tristan Russell, and Jason Hansen from right to left on the infield. Leopard waits, and that one's upstairs. Starting pitcher today for the Potters is Tanner Wardy. He's one of their best pitchers. 5 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, only allowing 1 hit, walking no one, and he's got a 1-0 record this year. So solid outings for him, and he's looking to continue his no-run streak here against the Packers. Faces a very, very good hitter, Alex Leopard. Packers started things off hot, scored 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second last night to lead 2-0. Pitch out as the runner going is Souza. He gets into second and he's out. So Jay Souza cut down on a great throw by Peniagua, and Tristan Russell in there to cover. Coach Mastoni out there to look it over, and Coach Gomes also out there. Talk things over with the umpire about the base. What did you see there?
It's just a great throw-out pitch. I mean, high outside fastball. It's a catcher's dream. Get to go up with the ball, and you get a great pop time. You're already on your feet. And just a spot-on throw. No doubter.
Yeah, that was great. Now they're going to fix the base, and that's a huge first out for the Potters. Yesterday, Souza was able to double to start the game off and later on score in that inning.
Leopard on the year. One of the only Packers with multiple singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. There's at least 2 of each. That falls in for a strike. Count now 2-1. Slider falling into the mid-70s. Down and in. But I get a chase from Leopard. Count now 2-2.
And where does Leopard sit on the team in that whiff rate category?
Around 20%, which is pretty much in the middle for the team. You'd love to be in the teens, but Leopard go all around, hits all parts of the field. Can hit high, low, inside out.
He pops this one up on the infield, over on it, and making the catch is the third baseman, Hansen. And quickly 2 down for the Pack. This is a huge series for both teams, more so for the Potters as they look to stay in the hunt for a PEL championship game bid. Packers currently 2.
First pitch to Sutter, high and in. Count now 1-1. Sutter is tied for first in the league in home runs with 7. Tied with his teammate J.C. Osario-Guard and the Crabs' Cameron Sewell.
Yeah, Osario-Guard tied up his teammate last night with a big solo home run. That one runs inside and hits Sutter. This is a big game, actually, for Logan and his family as they are from Lincoln. So, big game for them. He himself once was a member of Del Oro High School in Loomis outside of Lincoln. So, Lincoln, not many people really realize how big of a town it is, but 54,000 people live in Lincoln, California, compared to only 11,000 in Healdsburg. So it's definitely a different look there. I mean, much bigger suburb of Sacramento as this one's grounded. High chopper, second baseman, fields it onto first. And it is 4 up for the Packers and 3 down. So we'll head to the second. 0-0, still the score. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us. And we're back. It is the middle part of the lineup due up for the Lincoln Potters. Cole Tremaine pumps in his first pitch to Ty McGraw. It's in there for a called ball, 1-0. McGraw batting .442 on the year, matched some of his teammates with three homers and 31 RBIs. Powerful team for Lincoln. They were launching them out left, right, and center earlier on during batting practice. Tremaine fires that one on the outside part of the plate, just a bit outside. It's going to go 2-1.
Well, if Tremaine is scared to face anyone, it's Ty McGraw. Leads the league in batting average at .442 as that is hit up the middle and off of the glove of J.C. Osario, guard at short for a base hit.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for the Packers. So Lincoln gets their first hit of the ball game. First hit of the ball game for anyone. Lincoln only had 3 hits last night out in Clay City. That one fouled off. It is now Adam Peniagua from Regis University. He's batting .370, 3 homers, 19 RBIs on the year. He is a lethal man at the plate and behind the dish. That one is hit hard on the ground. 2-ball. Antonelli Savateri over to Agard. Agard to first. Save. Just beats out the throw from Osario Agard. So on the fielder's choice, Peniagua replaces his teammate at first.
Well, good job of the Packers defense to get one. Help support their pitcher. Double play ball still available.
Yeah, it's now Mason Belding. He's a high schooler. He fouls this one off. Funny enough, Mason is actually younger than I am. We're both going into our senior years of high school. Mason at Del Oro High School. He's committed to Louisiana State University. Highly touted prospect. He's been started well for the Potters, but since then, not so much. Batting .200 on the year.
Tremaine is a great ground ball pitcher, getting ground balls on balls in play at almost 70% of the time. Could use one here.
And we'll see if he gets it. Tremaine winds and deals, and this one is lined in the outfield. French over on it. He makes the catch. They thought that was dropping. The throw over to first is just off on time. And Peniagua gets back, but he was hustling back. He thought that thing was dropping.
Love the aggressive throw from French.
And that reminded me of, I believe it was Jonas Cespedes. Might have been might have been Raymond Laureano for the A's a couple years ago, who gunned down a runner from deep center field. It was an incredible throw back to first on one hop, too, out at the Oakland Coliseum back when the Oakland Athletics played there. That one is in there for a called strike to Brian Williams Jr. Williams Jr. batting .378 with a home run and 19 RBIs. He's out of Dallas Baptist University, one of the better mid-major baseball teams in the college landscape. Finds the zone again. Another breaking ball. Just sliding its way in there.
Yeah, that's back-to-back-to-back sliders from Tremaine. Both starting near the inside part of the zone, if not too far inside, and then sliding back in for a strike.
Let's see if he goes 4 in a row. The pitch. No, he goes fastball and cuts down Williams Jr. to end the inning. Cole Tremaine dominant as he heads back to the dugout. Still 0-0. We'll be right back. Bottom of the second looming. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the camera mishaps here. JC Osario, a guard, leads off. We'll go with a little bit of radio style. It'll be a guard, Grimmer, and Ladahoff, excuse me. All lethal hitters. A guard on a tear recently. As Jacob mentioned earlier, he just recently tied his teammate for most homers in the league with 7. Guard a completely different person from spring to summer. He's having what some would call a hot bat summer, despite a melancholy spring.
He did. He came off the first 2 weeks for the Packers just incredibly hot, died down a little bit recently, and then now he's really on a tear. You mentioned first in the league in home runs. That was lined out to center field, and the running catch is made by Brian Williams Jr.
Yeah, that one looked like it was going to fall. Got to thank our producer, Nolan Brenner, for heading out there and fixing our camera. And Mason Lerma, something to mention, he shaved his beard. He is clean-shaven Mason. This is not a sight I have seen in a few years.
Did he now? Where is he? Is he in the dugout? Is he down there?
He's right there.
Oh, wow.
It's so unrecognizable that you didn't even recognize him.
I didn't even see him.
1-0, and Grimmer lines this one up the middle. Over on it is Williams Jr., and he'll make the catch. So back-to-back flyouts to center. And it'll be Cade Ladahoff. Ladahoff holds dual Australian and American citizenships. Jacob, do you think he could beat a kangaroo in a fight?
Well, the kangaroo has the height advantage for sure. But, I mean, the way Ladahoff swings, as a strong and aggressive man, he's got a chance.
Yeah, he definitely comes up to the bat like a ticking time bomb almost. With the way he launches the ball, he can rocket it off his bat, but he twitches at the plate. So he's just someone that, you do not want to uncork. And he hits this one, a high chopper, gets over the glove of Hansen at third and trickles into left field. Cade Ladahoff reaches on a single. And now it is Hideki Prather. Prather from Oakland, California, went to Camp Lindo High School in Moraga, California. And currently attends Clemson. He's starting behind the dish for the for the Packers tonight. Ladahoff leads off over at first. Breaking ball is located just high and inside to Prather. Bottom of the order, their backup, their secondary leadoff guy, due up with Savatere. Prather waits, and this breaking ball is fouled off.
Prather, one of the best whiff guys on the team. You're not going to see him swing and miss too much. Hits the ball to all parts of the field and is a especially good high and in hitter.
One with 2 down. Prather waits. The pitch is fouled off. So count will go 1-2. Ladahoff, powerful runner. He looks like he could back up Donovan Edwards over there at the University of Michigan. 1-2. Nope, they'll step off to check on the runner. Ladahoff should be mentioned. That is only the second hit Wardy's given up his entire Potters career, which has been this summer. Wardy ready to come set The 1-2. That one fouled off. Prather is battling.
He's very disciplined. Only 4 strikeouts and 63 at-bats to go along with 9 walks on hit by pitch. Hard guy to get out at the plate.
And he's going to try and continue this reputation here. 1-2 with 2 down. This one is lined into the gap, and it'll get down in center field. Rounding second, digging for third, and in safely is Cade Ladoff, and now runners on the corners with only 2 down. And it's for a guy who's been red hot at the plate, the Texas Tech Red Raider, Antonelli Salvatore.
Yeah, you want to talk about guys that are hard to get out of the plate. Salvatore only 2 strikeouts in 78 at-bats to go along with 16 walks and hit by pitch.
That is straight. That is an incredible, that's all-star numbers right there. That pitch is outside to Salvatore from Tokay in Texas. Dallas area. The 1-0 is lined up the middle, and it'll get through. Ladoff will score. They'll hold up Prather at second, and then they bobble the transfer into third safely. Is Prather moving up on the bobbled transfer? Is Antonelli Salvatore. So just like that, the Packers get their first run of the ball game. Wardy has surrendered his first run of the summer, and they are looking to keep the conveyor belt going here.
Just a great piece of hitting right there. Get the ball up the middle, right where you want it.
How would you score that, Jacob? Do you think there's an error there with the bobbled transfer that allowed the 2 runners to go up?
Yeah, definitely a single, and then I would say an error to allow the 2 advanced runners.
Now it's the top of the order. It's Jay Souza, and he fouls that one off. That one was inside and low. He really likes it down there. He's hit a few homers off of that pitch location. Do the numbers back that up? That's at least what I've seen.
Yeah, 2 of his best slugging zones are interestingly enough, low and in and high and outside.
That is a very dynamic hitter. The man from Hawaii grounds it onto first, picked up by McGraw, and he will tap on the bag. But the Packers score first, 1-0. When we come back, it'll be the top of inning number 3. You're listening to the Packers TV network on YouTube. And we're back top of inning number 3. And this one grounded quickly to J.C. Osario Agard. He makes a nice throw on to first. And that will retire Cole Eaton. So now it'll be Corey Williams. He's playing in just his 2nd game this summer with the Potters. The pitch from Tremaine falls in for a called strike at the knees.
Tremaine really utilizing that slider. He throws it around almost half the time. He's throwing it for strikes and chases today as now. It's a cutter in there, 89.
Yeah, that one was painted right on the outside of the zone. The 0-2. That one is low. So 1-2 count now to Corey Williams. The pitch, he lines this one up the middle. It goes off of the foot of Tremaine. There will be no play at first. So an infield single there for Corey Williams. Tremaine shaking that off like a champ. That was incredible. Williams, though, he's a quick runner. And now you've got the top of the order due up in Brett Griffiths.
Well, Tremaine saved a single up the middle there by kicking it, but now got an infield single. Couldn't quite kick it far enough towards Sutter at third. So that is flied foul. 0-1 now.
That's going to go to the kids in there. All the little leaguers, it's funny, they're scavengers for all the balls that get hit down into that part. This one popped up. It will stay in the infield. Over on it is Sevatere. He will range back and make the catch. 2 down now. Now it's going to be Tristan Russell. He's a guy that the Potters are very happy to have. He's been dominant for them, 352 coming into this game. He struck out, though, looking in the first. Tremaine checks on the runner. The pitch, and this one is hit the opposite way. Moving over on it in a full sprint, it will drop. Jacob French will fire it in, and the slide into third is in time under the tag. And now runners on second and third for the Potters.
Batters for the Potters from UC Davis, third base, number 24, Jason Hansen.
So they're going to call that a single. He moved over on the throw. Great awareness there by Corey Williams to see that dropping and just turn on the gas. Now is going to be Jason Hansen, another very good hitter, but even better at watching pitches go by. 22 walks. That pitch is low, and it's fouled off. We'll go 2.
Slider there, and we've been talking. These fastballs sitting only around high 80s, top at 91, but they look much faster than they do, just being compared to all these sliders he's throwing.
So Jacob Jannicelli calls fastball here. The pitch is a fastball, and it's popped up over down the right field line in foul territory, and making the catch is Alex Leopard. And we'll head to the bottom of inning number 3. It is Packers 1, Potters nothing. We'll be right back. And we're back. It is the bottom of the third. Little country rock as Alex Leopard struts to the plate. This is Woodbat Collegiate Baseball right here. Packers lead it 1-0 after a big first run in the second. They're trying to keep it going. Here is first pitch coming in from Wardy is in for a called strike.
Leopard popped out to third in the first inning. 2 outside pitches to Leopard now. Leopard is normally a good low ball hitter, but has been known to take the outside ball deep.
And we'll see if he can do it. Short porch in left field over that 12-foot wall, 284, but he'll take it down the right field line. Foul.
Close call there. Seemed to just hit to the right of that faint line painted in the grass there down the first base side.
Yeah, that one was pretty cut and dry. Really nice line drive, but unfortunate result for the rising graduate student. So Leopard returns, and it's going to be a 1-2 count now. It's the man from UC San Diego. Did you ever look at UC San Diego when you were looking for your colleges?
Well, a little bit. The big schools didn't really speak to me as much. I only really applied to a couple of UCs, but San Diego is a great place. My sister now lives there, and visiting her is often fun, as that is a strikeout for Leopard.
Yeah, that one was right down the middle, quite literally right down the middle, as shown on our TrackMan, and Leopard was just kind of crowding the plate, so did not look right down the middle to him.
That's about as middle as it gets, but can be deceptive with these pitches. Doesn't always look middle when it's coming at you.
Yeah, that one painted there for a called strike one. There's the 0-1 to Sutter. And that one is a high chopper over to Hansen at third. He'll throw on to first, and Sutter is retired. So now it'll be Jacob French. He's looking to not only turn his flag on, but also turn this offense on. Big lefty out of the University of California, Berkeley. Went to SF State his freshman year and graduate out of Benicia High School. His own Benicia Little League actually played here last night. That one's in there for a called strike.
French has been one of the Packers and the league's best hitters this year. Second in the league in batting average at .427. League first is Ty McGraw of the Lincoln Potters, hitting .442.
As French fouls that one off. It'll be an 0-2 now. (0-2), 2 down. Wardy looks in. He turns and fires, and French lines this one down the left field line, way foul into the bullpen of the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Got to watch out if you're driving by on University Street or you're walking by. You might get hit with the fly ball. 0-2 with 2 down. French waits. Wardy fires. Swing and a miss. Nasty stuff from Tanner Wardy, turning up the heat. And the Potters retire the Packers in order, striking out 2. We'll be back in the top of the 4th. And it is still 1-0 here in the Berg. And we're back. It's going to be Ty McGraw, the PEL's most lethal man, to lead things off in the fourth for the Lincoln Potters. They're looking for some offense here, and they're going to try and start things off. Hard grounder over to Salvatore, and he is going to make a quick throw onto first to retire McGraw. Jacob Jannicelli enjoying some API hot chicken. There are food truck of the night here. They've got Nashville hot chicken here in the Bay Area. The pitch is in there for a called strike. It was most recently 707 day. So all of you Healdsburgians, happy 707 day. That was July 7th, obviously. As this one's fouled off at the plate is Adam Peniagua. Here comes the 0-2. That one just off the outside. Locates that 79-mile-an-hour slider there. And there's another slider. This one lined down the left field line. Foul. Do you like the API hot chicken?
It is quite good. I'm wearing a lot of hats tonight between broadcasting, my usual analytics duties, and
professional food eater.
Always on the bulk is what I was going to say, but yes.
This one's popped up. Salvatore over on it. He will make the catch. So defensively right now, Antonelli Salvatore having a great game, and he also has the RBI single. So a lot to be happy about if you're the Texas Tech Red Raider. Are you a big fan of Joey Chestnut?
He's cool. He's one of the best at what he does.
Would you say that Joey Chestnut is, would you call that an athlete? Would you call him an athlete?
It is a physical feat what he is doing.
That is true. So does that constitute him being called an athlete? Does he enter himself into the conversation of being one of the greatest athletes of all time?
No.
Nolan says no, you say no, I say yes. I think that is incredible, and the reason I say yes is because he himself is from the Bay Area. He's from San Jose, so Joey Chestnut. Yeah, there we go. We got our own Emmett Peterson. Says he's an athlete. Blake, you want to break the tie? Is Joey Chestnut an athlete or not?
Blake thinks.
And we get a yes. So 3-2, Joey Chestnut is officially an athlete. But this one popped up by the high schooler into center field over on D'Souza, and he will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So quick game here. As I say that, that's most likely going to signal the ominous broadcaster's curse. But 1-0 when we come back here at Recreation Park. So J.C. Agard will come in to hit now for the Packers to lead things off. Bottom of inning number 4 Hugo Traverso alongside Jacob Jannicelli and our producer Nolan Brenner. The pitch is swung on and crushed. Deep left field. That one, will it get down or will it be out? It gets up and over the fence. They're going to call it a home run. It was on the inner fence out in left center field, and J.C. Osorio-Agard leaves the yard to take the outright lead on homers. And that might be the day for Wardy. There's going to be a bit of a discussion here because that one hit. There's two fences in center field, actually. There's one that is hit into the little pocket, the forward fence, that's a little pocket there for the utilities and the scoreboards. And then you have the further fence behind there is actually there's a basketball that's been tossed into the field of play, and Brian Williams Jr. will throw that one back onto the basketball blacktop in center field. So they're going to talk it over. That one called a home run right now. We'll see if they call it back. There have been mixed reactions. Do you actually know the official ruling out there, Jacob?
I was under the impression that a ball hit between the two fences was a double. But I don't make the rules.
Me as well.
So
No, that is the same thing I was told.
Whatever umpires call, they're right.
Yeah. And now it's going to be Blake Grimmer coming in after the home run from J.C. Agard to take an outright lead. And Grimmer crushes this one. It is going to be a pop-up, though, and it'll fall between the second baseman and right fielder. Grimmer keeping the line moving with the single, and the Packers with a 2-0 lead. They are hungry for more.
2 first pitch hits in a row for the Packers. That first Agard home run that was left high and middle, one of Agard's best slugging zones besides middle. And he showed him why.
Yeah, so Grimmer now leads away at first, and it is Cade Ladahoff. Breaking ball is in the zone there for a called strike. A lot of sliders being utilized here by Wardy.
Ladahoff has really exploded in the recent few weeks. Now 6th in the league in home runs at 4. He had no home runs prior to July beginning, I believe. And has hit 4 since, along with climbing to 7th in the league in batting average at .382, which puts him at 3rd on the Packers.
And here comes the 0-1 to Ladahoff. He pops this one up and foul. One will fall atop the roof here at Recreation Park. 0-2 now coming to Ladahoff, windmilling his bat. The 0-2, and that one is in the dirt, and it gets past the catcher. Oh, great fake out there by Paniagua to entice Grimmer to go, but Grimmer does not buy the deal.
Aided by first base coach Max Shoup, I am sure. Keeping an eye on the ball there.
Here comes the 1-2 from Wardy. That one is low. So now 2-2, even count to Cade Ladahoff. Wardy trying to get a strikeout here, and he locates another chase pitch in the dirt. That one skips there. So now the count is full. Grimmer at first. Packers 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Lincoln no runs, 3 hits, 1 error. See who the Packers go to in the top of the 5th pitching-wise. Cole Tremaine's had a pretty good outing. Ladahoff fouls this one off to the left.
Well, that ball was well inside and a bit high, but laid off a dead pull righty, slugging at 3,000 at middle in.
That is incredible. Ladoff, I mean, he's been someone who can put bat to ball pretty quickly. We'll see if he continues that, but he'll watch that one skip in the dirt. And 3 up, 3 on for the Packers. Now runners on first and second with a 2-0 lead for Hideki Prather, Clemson Tiger. Villanova ever play Clemson in basketball when you were there?
Not since I've been there. I'm sure in the tournament they've faced them a couple times. But the 3 years that I've been at Villanova since, also the 3 years since Coach Jay Wright's departure, Villanova has been quite bad at basketball, and so not seeing many games played into March for them, at least in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that is true. And now we're going to have a new pitcher coming in for the Potters, which will give us a chance to look at our league rankings in just a moment. The new pitcher for the Potters after Rorty is retired after 3 full. Gets a little bit into the 4th. The new guy is going to be Bobby Remedi from Benedictine College. He's out of Folsom, California. So Bobby Remedi comes in. We'll look at his stats here. He has a .355 ERA, 11 games. He's earned himself a save, 12.2 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, only 5 walks, but he has given up 10 hits. And we'll look at the league standings. It's been definitely a much more stacked league with the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Pack Empire League. We'll look at the league standings right here. Healdsburg currently sits atop 22-1 or 22-2. The Humboldt Crabs 25-4. They are in second, 2 games back on the Packers. They're 9-4 in league. The Rogues currently sit tied with the Potters, 4 games back. Rogues 4-3, Potters 6-5. Kings and Mudcats are unfortunately pretty much mathematically eliminated from making the championship game unless some crazy things happen. What have you seen? Has there been any league team outside of the Packers that you'd like to acknowledge that have just been on a tear recently?
Well, the Crabs have just played really well. I mean, they're overshadowed by that large gap between that first and second place spot, but there's also a large gap between second and third. Just playing really great ball and giving the Packers one of their only losses on the year. So it'll be an interesting few weeks when the playoff picture begins to form.
Yeah, and we'll have you updated. Excuse me. Have you updated for the rest of the year? Got a big homestand coming next week with the Packers. They have the Medford Rogues, and then they go on the road against the Humboldt Crabs. The Potters, they actually head to Medford following this series, so getting their road games out of the way. They faced the Crabs a couple weeks ago, so they're just getting everything done here. The 1-0 coming from Romidi. That one is hit high into right field. And the catch will be made by Eaton. Moving over to third will be Grimmer on the sacrifice fly.
Now batting from Texas Tech University, second base, number 1, Antonelli Sabateri.
Well, hung a slider there, but was able to stay in the park, even fighting the sun there on that fly out to right. But now first and third for Sabateri.
Savatari's been very solid, had an RBI to start scoring off for the Packers. Ant-Man, he's a magician, and looking to be a magician here for the Pack, bring home some runs. This one fouled off.
He does card tricks?
Yes, he does. He does. Ryan Moffitt, it's very sad that Ryan Moffitt is not here because right now Salvatore is making a very good case to be player of the game. And with his defensive antics and his ways, the big ways he's come up with the Packers on offense, he's doing card tricks, funny enough, actually, if he is our player of the game. Don't know if that was something that Ryan had scheduled and he was going to bring the cards, but we'll see. Maybe there's some cards on hand. I know the pitchers like to play poker in the pitching room. 0-2 with one down.
Ryan Moffat, of course, absent this week. So we're getting a little more broadcast time for Hugo and the others. As that is singled or flown out to center field and caught for the second out. But tagging comes Grimmer for the third run for the Packers.
So there's a sac fly, and Salvatore picks up his second RBI on the game as Grimmer will score, and it's now going to be the top of the order here in the fourth for the Packers. So 3-0 Healdsburg lead. Got to feel pretty good here if you're the Packers. You come away with this one, you get a chance to sweep tomorrow at McBean. That one is outside. The count goes 1-0 to Jay Souza.
Souza 0-2 so far. Reach on an error in the first and then grounded out to first base in the second inning.
Here's the 1-0 to Souza, and that one's outside. Nope, called a strike. Just a hair off the strike zone, and Souza a little confused, talking it over with the umpire. It was a nice, I believe that had arm side break on that. The pitch is low. Count will go 3-1. Excuse me, 2-1. The 2-1, Souza called strike in there, so evens the count here at 2-2.
We're seeing fastball, changeup, slider here. Changeup with good arm side movement. This is grounded foul.
Yeah, Potters and Packers, both teams lined with D1 talent. Packers, all 9 of their starters, or should I say 10 of their starters, are Division I. As the Potters 8. As this one's lined up the middle, it will fall in. Over to second is Ladahoff. And Jay Souza will continue the assembly line here for the Packers, the base hit. But, yeah, no, 8 of the 10 starters for the Potters are either D1 committed, or 9 of the 10 of the Potter starters are either D1 committed or currently playing Division I. The outlier being their catcher going to Regis University, but he's pretty solid. So runners at first and second for a lethal man. It's Alex Leopard. The pitch. Leopard gets it where he likes it, and he pops this one off foul a little early. That one inside at the knees.
Yeah, Leopard, a great low ball hitter. Likes to hit it up the middle. 2 runners in scoring position here. Looking to add to his 10 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, Leopard, late addition for the Packers, but he's a veteran. He's played here 3 years in a row. One of the few in the team's history to do that. His history with the Packers harks back to guys like Connor Sharpio and Joey Kramer, who have come through that SRJC pipeline. A lot of talent here in Sonoma County, and they really flock to the Santa Rosa Junior College. Bear Cubs produced a lot of players. The pitch is lined into right field. Dive, catch made! Oh my goodness, Cole Eaton. Cole Eaton goes full flying squirrel and makes the catch. Or should I say flying peacock. The Potters hold the Packers there, but it is still 3-0 after J.C. Osorio-Lagarde leaves the yard, and Antonelli Savitere drives home another run. So we'll be right back. It'll be the top of the 5th inning, 3-0 Packers. All right, we're back here. Brandon Mann now in to pitch for the Packers. Mann, dominant righty. A lot of speed and power behind his pitches. Grew up in Michigan, committed to stay home, playing the big house in Ann Arbor. He's a two-sport star, playing tight end for football and pitching for baseball. First hitter he faces shows bunt, but doesn't matter for Mann. He still pumps in a strike. It's Brian Williams Jr. That one is fouled off. So it's going to be an 0-2 count quickly. Mann has pretty much had polar opposite outings, albeit a lot of them have been better. He's had a few outings where he's given up a few runs, but most of his outings have been just domination, strike after strike. That one fouled off. And with the backstop at Rec Park, it is going to bounce all the way back almost to first base. The 0-2, and that one is across the letters for a 1-2.
You're going to see mostly cutter, sinker, slider, curveball from Mann. Really tight movement on the breaking balls.
That one is line foul. It's a good battle here developing. It's the bottom of the order due for Lincoln. Packers have a lot of games left this week. They go to Lincoln tomorrow, and then a few on their weekend set. So I mentioned go to Lincoln tomorrow. They get the California Red Tails as that one runs inside. Just a hair off the inside. Go to Lincoln tomorrow. They then head to they head home. They play the California Red Tails and then the Concord Zephyrs, and then they have a doubleheader on Sunday with the Solano Mudcats at Solano College. That one's fouled off. The only times they will play away against the Solano Mudcats this year, and that's That'll be on Sunday, so should be a nice doubleheader for the Packers, but 5 games after this, so they've got to use their pitching wisely. The 2-2. Inside, and that one is chopped foul.
Man has topped at 96 this summer on his sinker. Then I'll throw a cutter a little bit at less velocity with good arm side movement.
That one is outside. Runs glove side, and that is now a 3-2. Full count coming to Brian Williams, who started this at-bat 0-2 with back-to-back fouled balls. Now looking to work a walk. The 3-2 swing, and that one is a high chopper, but foul.
Absolutely a protect swing there. Good location from Mann.
Umpire will clean off the.
Always good as a pitcher to see a batter off balance.
And Mann will work off of that, and he freezes Williams Jr. and sits him down to start the inning. So Brandon Mann claws and claws and claws, and eventually gets the result he was looking for. He sits Williams down looking.
Well, that's a really tight moving slider. It starts at the batter's front shoulder and falls in for an inside strike. Just really hard to stay in on 3-2.
And now they'll show button again with Cole Eaton. One down here in the 5th inning. Eaton grounded out to shortstop his last time out. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Man working quickly. That was 84. 84, excuse me. You can see on our great velocity set up by our Twitter analytics guys here this week. We've got Emmett Peterson and Blake Thomas. So it's going to be a 1-2 now.
Yeah, we're down a couple guys this week. Normally our the broadcaster, Ryan, along with Sean, our main scorebook guy. So we'll each be wearing a few different hats this week, multiple hats. If you're ever at Rec Park this week and see an issue with the scoreboard, something's wrong on there, probably my fault, as I will be manning the scoreboard along with doing some broadcasting and general analytics.
Well,
This scoreboard is ancient.
it is.
And not user-friendly.
It is not. It is not. I got an inning and couldn't survive.
You do an inning?
I did do an inning.
This last week?
I did. I was enjoying some nice pizza and got the chance to do an inning, and it was brutal, to say the least.
It's no fun.
The 2-2 now from Mann. He's trying to make this a no-fun day for the Potters. It pretty much has been. However, they have matched their hits from last night with 3. Pretty clean game for both teams, all things considered.
Another note on the scoreboard, because it's just such a fun story to tell. One of our interns, Emmett, was manning the scoreboard on one day that I was gone, and as that is called a strike.
They're going to say he swung. They're going to say he swung there. I don't know. That pitch was pretty inside, pretty low and inside. So Eaton, he went to swing. He did check his swing, but it didn't look like he extended super far. This one is grounded quickly to Salvatore. He will make the throw on to first, and the Packers will retire the side in order. So 2 strikeouts and a ground out for Brandon Mann in his first inning of work. We'll be right back. 3-0 Packers. And we're back here. It is the bottom of the fifth. 3-4-5 due up for the Packers. It's Logan Sutter followed by Jacob French. And then the home run king, J.C. Osario-Agard. Logan Sutter going to be looking to retie that home run ranking tonight as he takes takes strike one, excuse me. New pitcher in for the Lincoln Potters. And it's a big swing and a miss from Sutter. The new guy for the Potters is Cameron Lee out of Golden West College. He is from Hanapepe, Hawaii. Lee fires home and a swing and a miss. Sutter struck out there on a great pitch there from Cameron Lee. Are you yourself a big fan of Hawaii?
Of Hawaii?
Yes, of Hawaii.
I am, except a bit traumatized because my last trip there, I was in the ocean on like one of those like kneeboard, skimboard things. It fell into the water, kicked to swim up back on my board, and kicked a piece of coral as that is flowing out to deep left center, going back and falling in for a ground rule double between those two fences, it looks like.
Yeah, great hit there for Jacob French, and the Packers are back in business. But you kicked some coral, and what, did that cut your foot?
I did. I ended up having to get 7 stitches, and I couldn't walk normal for about 4 months afterwards on my because of my foot.
Correction, that's not Cameron Lee in. I misread his number. It's Matthew Fatami he is also from Golden West College, but he is actually out of Los Alamitos, California. So, not Cameron Lee. Apologies there. Look at Futami's stats. He is a rising sophomore. This is his first game, actually, with the Potters this year. A lot of pitching, this team, Fatami. The 0-1 is in the dirt to Osario-Agard.
Osario-Agard looking to break that 3-way tie for first in home runs in the league. Also 6th in the league in batting average at .392. Which has pushed him second on the team. At 5th is Severns on the Rogues, hitting at .393 as that is hit past third baseman into left field. And Coach Gomes will hold Jacob French at third base. But that is an increase in the batting average for Osario-Agard.
And now Blake Grimmer will stand in from the University of Tennessee. He's rocking with a little bit of Bob Marley. Tennessee, Knoxville, that's pretty synonymous with the rise in country music viewership and listenership. Guys like Morgan Wallen there. There are 2 kids sitting on the fence in center field. We might want to go check on that as Grimmer takes a ball outside. We'll see if the umpires choose to stop the game. For the kids, they seem to be getting down now. They are going to get down. All right. The 1-0. And that one is drilled right field. No doubter. Bat flip. Gone! That one is crushed all the way to Nashville. Blake Grimmer leaves the yard, and the Packers are up 6-0. So back-to-back games as Osario-Agard and Blake Grimmer leave the yard. And Rec Park is roaring.
No TrackMan track on that ball, but easy to see that that was killed. Hit well over the bleachers, the metal bleachers out there in right center.
And so now Ladahoff will look to do the same. He takes that one low. It's a 1-0 now. It would be kind of funny to, after Chris Schaefer, that interview should be up on our Instagram at some point this game. It would be funny to actually get Chris Schaefer to gear up either for the Packers in a game they play against the BACL teams, a non-conference game, or to have him gear up for the other team and see how well he would do against the Packers. He's throwing 80. Some of these guys, he didn't, I don't think that was really where he topped out during his college career. So he's a guy who can throw a lot harder, and he throws about as hard as some of the guys the Packers have seen. The 2-1 skips in the dirt, checks his swing, and is not in time.
Chris Schaefer, our game day ops manager, he hit 80 on that first pitch, and 80 is faster than we have seen on some of our pitchers this year, as Ladoff has walked. It's Ladoff's second walk of the game, along with his single.
As a Ladahoff walks, and the Packers restart everything. They're going to now have a talk. This is not ideal for the Potters. Crabs had a very similar result against the Potters the last few times they faced off. And we will step aside and come back once this mound visit has concluded. We're back, and they will decide to stay with their pitchers. This one's grounded to short, and on the double play, the throw is offline, and Hideki Prather is safe. So fielder's choice there, but an error by the second baseman allows Prather to reach. So 6-0 Packers lead. An eruption over the last 2 innings. 2 runs in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. Now it is Antonelli Savatere looking to continue his great day at the plate. 2 RBIs so far. He's 1 for 1 with a single. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Packers. They have tied their hit count at last night. Check swing. He does go. The runner over to second, and he is tagged out. So Prather hosed down by Paniagua, and we will step aside now as we head to the 6th inning. It is 6-0 Packers when we come right back. All right, new hitter in now as we start the 6th. It's going to be Zach Story. That one is low to Story. He's out of the University of California, Davis. He comes in for Brett Griffiths. One's in there for a called strike. A lot of Davis kids on this team. Another notable player, actually, from Sonoma County is Emmett Johnson. He's from Sonoma, California. Went to Justice Siena High School as that one falls in for a called strike. 1-2 coming now. Did you ever cross paths with him?
I have not.
Okay. That one is outside, and it's a 2-2. Brandon Mann enters his 2nd inning of work in relief. Cole Tremaine right now lined up for the win with a 4-inning, nearly immaculate game, only giving up 3 hits. He was incredible, to say the least. So Cal will go full to Story here. Story trying to rewrite the story of this game, and it has been all Packers, and he crushes this one into left field. That one's back there, and they will watch it fly. Gone onto University Street. Zach Story, a pinch hit home run, and the Potters are on the board.
Well, that's what happens when you hang a slider 82 middle on a 3-2 pitch. And that one goes yard.
Yeah, that one was a tough one for Brandon Mann. Here's the pitch, and that one's outside.
Mann, of course, has some cushion here with now a 5-run lead, but we'll look to, from now on, reflect his first inning where he went 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
Man, well, those insurance runs for the Packers, definitely good to see. The 1-1. That one is in there, called strike. So now 1-2.
Well, that looks more like where you wanted that last breaking ball, just catching that outside part of the zone and not leaving it hanging in the middle.
This one is hit on the ground. Ladohoff collects. He will touch first. And now one down. So now Jason Hansen will come up. So now Mann goes to work against Jason Hansen.
Cutter there, 89. Good arm side movement. That ball misses high. Another cutter.
And here's the pitch, and this one is on the ground. A guard collects a deep short. Big throw over to first in time. And Alex Leopard got faked out there, thought that there was 2 outs, but now 2 down.
That's a big time play from a guard on his back foot with that weird, get some weird bounces there at Rec Park and then in the shortstop area. Fielding it cleanly on the back foot. No time to step forward, just got to throw and put it on target. It's a great play.
Now with 2 down, it is going to be Ty McGraw. He leads the team in doubles with 12.
We have an Angel Pagan jersey sighting for a fan at Rec Park.
That is I mean, talk about, we just had an inside the park home run with Patrick Bailey to walk things off. And funny enough, the first bobblehead I ever got was an Angel Pagan inside the park home run bobblehead. So he had that great inside the park home run on a day game, slid in, had the great point, and now McGraw walks, but That is a legendary poll for Giants fans. Him, Michael Morse. And think about some other great Giants from that three championship and 5-year run.
Four-pitch walk for Mann. Operating with 2 outs.
He's
sinker in there at 89 for a strike.
Just appears he's trying to reset and everything, get through this inning. That one upstairs. Count will go 1-1. So the 1-1, Mann shrugs, takes a deep breath and fires, and that one is fouled, nearly hitting the coach for the Potters. The 1-2 with 2 down. Runner leads away at first. Mann stares into the glove. The pitch, fouled off. Nope, it's fouled into the glove of Prather.
Mann shook off twice, got the pitch that he wanted. And a great catch by Prather on the foul tip to get the strike 3 and end the inning for Mann.
So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Lincoln gets 1 on a Zach Story pinch hit home run. But the Packers still lead by 5. They'll look to tack on even more runs when we come back. There's also going to be a new pitcher for Lincoln. We're back here for the bottom of inning number 6. We have a new addition to our broadcast. Emmett Peterson, another one of our analytics guys, joins on. New pitcher for the Potters is Quentin Marsh out of Valley Christian High School in San Jose. He is headed to Stanford to join up with his brother, the left fielder Tatum Marsh, who is a second-team freshman All-American this year with the Cardinal. First pitch, fastball is outside.
Decent velo there, but nothing crazy. 4-seam. Spin rate's nothing crazy at 2019.
Yeah, he's more of a hitter. He's a two-way player, but more on the hitting side. We'll see how they use him. He's joining one of his future Stanford teammates with the Potters, Torrin O'Haron. We'll see if Torrin gets any outings, an outing tonight, or whether they'll use him tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, Antonelli Saviteri leads things off for the Packers after coming to the plate only to leave due to a runner getting caught stealing. He hits a soft grounder over to second. Picking it up is Griffins, and he will, or excuse me, is Story, and he'll make the throw to first in time for out number 1.
Another sinker there at 85 miles per hour. Same spin rate, not too high, but very good horizontal break there. It's negative 17 inches from the lefty.
Yeah, he is the definition of nasty. Him and his brother, that entire Valley Christian team was stacked. They had 2 years ago when they made a run at the CCS title, they were stacked. 8 players going Division I in their lineup. So their starting lineup plus their pitching too. Rohan, Brock Ketelson, Jay Souza breaks his bat on that one.
Four-seam there, ran it up to 88, up in the spin rate a little bit more, up to 21.48.
Quinton's brother Tatum was drafted, and Quinton's teammate, Brock Ketelson, who's headed to Stanford with him, is also supposed to get drafted this year. Tatum, though, decided to elect to go to Stanford, and Quinton himself might get drafted. So will be interesting to see these guys where they end up. Marsh goes into his windup, and it's in the dirt. Funny enough, we have a little bit more of a connection in this broadcast to Quinn Marsh and Valley Christian. Josh Jannicelli, Jacob's brother, had a 94-pitch complete game shutout against the Valley Christian Warriors, winning that game for the Cardinals earlier this year, 1-0. It was a great game to watch, and Josh dominated. Anyways, Jay Souza stepping to the plate.
So far, Quinton's throwing a lot of sinkers, mixing in some changeups the past 2 pitches for balls. Grounds it to short, third, and in time to the first baseman for the out.
And now it's going to be Alex Leopard. He's 0 for 3 tonight, trying to flip his night around. Overall, what have you seen from these Potters pitchers that have just made them so hittable for the Packers?
I think the main thing there is their velo's just not there tonight. None of them are really touching 90. They're all sitting around low 80s to mid 80s. Very solid break, especially their breaking stuff. Their off speed is looking very nice, but I think the fastballs have been kind of what's getting the Packers some runs today.
And that one is skidding in the dirt from Marsh to Leopard.
That was his first slider at the bat. Decent break, breaking 11 inches vertically, or horizontally, but not much on the vertical side.
Here's the pitch from Marsh, and that one is in there for a called strike, located in the top corner inside there.
Barely clipped his zone, but it was a strike.
Yeah, paint there from Marsh. He goes into his windup and fires. That one is up high, trying to locate in the same spot, or maybe elude a chase out of Leopard.
Yeah, just a little high there.
Anyways, this is a very interesting battle. Incoming college freshman versus incoming graduate student. Takes that one for a called strike.
Looks like he got away with that one. That was a little low and away.
2-2 with 2 down. Leopard awaits the pitch from Marsh, and he lines this one the opposite direction. Over on it is the left fielder, Williams, and he runs into the wall. That one will touch off the Anderson Ziegler sign out in left field. And cruising into second with a double is Alex Leopard.
284 feet on the distance there, 89 miles per off the bat. Looks like he just missed it, but got enough just to get it off the wall in left field, that high fence.
Now Logan Sutter will strut to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch back in the first. Emmett, I know you're a Padres fan.
Yeah.
How was that growing up, being a Padres fan amongst what I imagine were a lot of Giants fans?
Yeah, that was rough. 2010 to 2014 with those 3 World Series. Caught a lot of flack, but at least we made the playoffs last year and then lost to the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, it seems like Nearly everyone's losing to the Dodgers. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Brewers got the win yesterday, but
Yeah. Jacob Mizorowski is a incredible pitcher. Love his fastball and slider. Touching 102, 103 on that four-seam. Even touched 97 on a slider last night from him.
yeah, the Brewers ended up sweeping the Dodgers. Was a big sweep there for them. Mizorowski, though, has just been he's incredible. It is nearly physically impossible, the stuff he is doing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I think that was also the Dodgers' 6th loss in a row, the first time that's happened since 2017 for them.
That is tough.
As a Padres fan, makes me pretty happy. I'm sure it does too as a Giants fan for you.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love when the Dodgers lose, as that one is in the dirt, and Sutter offers at it.
Change up there. Looks like it just bottomed out, and Sutter offers.
So 2 down, runner at second is Leopard. The pitch in the dirt. Count goes even, so 2-2 with 2 outs. Sutter trying to get a big bomb, tie things back up with J.C. Osorio guard at 8 for the home run track on the team and in the league. That one is inside. It'll go 3-2.
A lot of changeup to Sutter this at bat. Just 1 fastball among 4 changeups.
Yeah, Marsh, he's definitely very selective with his pitches. And he's also a very good hitter. I've seen him hit some tape measure bombs. The 3-2 and swing and a miss.
Another changeup outside by about 5-6 inches.
Yeah, so he eludes the chase from Sutter. That's the first multi-strikeout game for Sutter in a while. And we'll step aside. We'll be right back. Top of the 7th coming up. 6-1 Packers lead.
Thanks.
And now new pitcher in for the Packers. It is Hayden Hottenbach. And as we start the 7th inning, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors and all of the interns who work here with the Healdsburg Prune Packers. It is going to be Mason Belding. He's a high schooler going to LSU. Highly talented prospect. We might actually see him go in the draft next year. I mean, did you ever have that moment when you were in high school that, you know, there was a kid that was maybe younger than you or older than you that was just incredible athletically and you couldn't believe it?
Yeah, the one guy that comes to mind is Cody Cornelius. Played football with him. I was a junior on varsity. He was a freshman, 10 times bigger than me. And then I wrestled with him a little bit. He was just a beast. He is a D tackle at San Diego State now. Just redshirted this past year. I'm really excited to see how he does this upcoming year.
Yeah, and he won strongest man there as an incoming sophomore.
Yeah, he is incredible. He is built. He's probably 6 foot, 300 pounds, and arms like cannons.
Yeah, so Hayden Hottenbach coming in. He is 6'7", 245 pounds, UCSB, and he entices his first strikeout against Belding.
Yeah, he really throws one pitch. It's his four-seam. He throws that about 90% of the time. We'll mix in a cutter here and there, but his four-seam is incredible, sitting about 92, and it has incredible induced vertical break, at sometimes touching 26, 27 inches there.
That's incredible. Hottenbach out of San Rafael, California, one of the more experienced guys on this roster, has pitched in 4 games with the Packers, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, 5 hits, 3.37 ERA. He pumps a strike in there, so it's going to be a 1-1 count.
Yeah, sitting 91, 92 on his fastball today.
It's another swing and miss there. New batter in for the Potters.
Another four-seam. He's just late on it. Can't catch up to Hadenbach's velo.
That one swing and a miss. Late on it again. Back-to-back strikeouts, and this is really what you draw up.
Yeah, they're really chasing that low fastball today. It's in the zone, but just barely.
Yeah, Packers have dominated the Potters pitching-wise. 4 innings pitched from Tanner Bradley last night to start things off. He was relieved by his college teammate at Oregon, Blake Crawford, who went 3 innings, struck out 4, gave up no hits, only walked 1 runner. And then Mason Lerma came in, and in 2 innings, earned himself a save with 3 strikeouts. Something to mention, though, outside of their starter for Lincoln, the rest of their bullpen went 5 innings, gave up only 2 hits, struck out 7, and allowed no runs.
And Hadenbach will touch 93 on that patch fit. Last pitched, his highest velo of the day.
So now 0-2 with 2 down. The pitch, swing, and this one is crushed into left field, back on it, and at the wall, and watching it go is Jacob French. And that is a much-needed home run for Cole Eaton and the Lincoln Potters. He leaves the yard to left field. He absolutely smashed that ball, Emmett.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't get any read on the homer, so no idea how fast it or how far it went.
Well, if given a rough estimate, that would be about 320, 330. White and O'Brien hit one around the same distance at the NBL Redwood championship game only about 2 months ago for Annalee. Guy who ended up winning that game, Cooper Scholes, got the win and a no-hitter, 61-pitch no-hitter. Can you believe that?
That is incredible. 61.
Yeah, hour and 15-minute long game. You can, if you want confirmation, I was there, and I don't know if he was there, but he definitely watched it. Was Blake Thomas, his brother Hunter, was on the team when they won that game 1-0 over Montgomery. Annalee was the Redwood champions. It's now 2-0 and 3-0 count, so buffet pitch coming here to Corey Williams. Not seeing a lot of those today. Hottenbach pumps a fastball upstairs, and Williams walks.
UC Davis, Zach Story.
So now Zach Story, who put Lincoln on the board last inning, will come up. He had a home run to left field. Will look to do the same thing. Hottenbach winds and fires, locates a fastball beautifully. Middle, but on the inside part of the plate.
Just froze him there.
Yeah, that speed is just something that the Potters are not used to. Check swing, and he went.
Yep, definitely out of the zone there, but not able to hold up.
That one at 90 miles an hour, so just straight filth here from Hottenbach. The Gaucho comes home, pitches in the dirt, throw down from the Clemson catcher is in time. And it catches Corey Williams stealing. So we'll head to the 7th inning stretch. The Packers have a comfortable 6-2 lead.
to 93 on that.
And we are back here. It is the bottom of inning number 7. Hugo Traverso alongside Emmett Peterson. Jacob French leads off against Quentin March. It'll be lefty on lefty, and French quickly winning that battle. It gets past the right fielder, and it'll kiss up against the wall. Into second, soaring in there with the leadoff double is Jacob French.
Hit really hard off the bat there, 98 miles per hour, but just couldn't get under it enough at the next angle of 15 degrees to get it over the fence.
So Jacob French is now in at second, and it'll be J.C. Osario guard. And it is we might have a new Bash brothers here. Lagarde and Grimmer homering in back-to-back games. They're set in the lineup in back-to-back spots. Lagarde, of course, homered in the 4th to lead that inning off, and then Grimmer hit the 3-run bomb that blew this game wide open. The first pitch to Lagarde, he fouls that one off.
Another fastball here from Marsh. At 84 miles per hour.
Our own Marty Geffner taking some pictures. Got a good core of Sonoma County kids on this this intern roster. Yourself currently at Penn State from Casa Grande High School. Blake currently at Oregon State from Annaley High School. Jacob currently at Villanova from Santa Rosa, and I myself am from Healdsburg.
Yeah, everyone here is going out of state for school. I know you're planning on going to Syracuse, right? Or that's your
that's my number one
goal?
for right now. We'll see.
Like the cold over there in upstate New York?
I am fine with it. I'm used to the cold. I am fine with weather doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. I like having cold. The season's just very nice to have.
Well, a guard is struck out there, and now it's a guy who's used to pretty much all types of weather. Going to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Blake Grimmer. Do you buy into the debate that the SEC is the best conference?
For baseball or for just all athletics?
Just all athletics in general.
I don't know. It's hard to say. As a Big Ten guy, I'm a big fan of their football, all their other sports, wrestling, basketball, especially wrestling, big fan of that. But I think overall SEC, I might have to give it to them.
Yeah, no, they've dominated in baseball despite, they did have the national champion in baseball.
Yeah, who was it this year? It was LSU?
It was LSU in baseball, Ohio State in football. Basketball was Florida, so SEC there again.
Yeah, I was not happy with that Ohio State victory. It really hurt me when Penn State lost to Notre Dame in the college semis.
Well, now, To me, being, my dad having gone to USC, growing up a USC fan, I was very happy Ohio State won that game, but it was, really picking the lesser of two evils as the buffet pitch is in there for a called strike to Grimmer. Now a 3-1 count.
You yourself a USC fan, Hugo?
Yes, I am.
Unfortunate.
I understand you being a Penn State fan.
My mom also went to UCLA, so kind of against USC here.
Ah. Well, that pitch is inside, and it hits Grimmer. So the 3-1, it doesn't even matter whether it was a ball or a strike. That one hit him.
Remember watching the USC Penn State game this year? Incredible comeback by the Nittany Lions.
Yep, that was a pretty remarkable job done by Penn State and Tyler Warren. That play with the tight end lining up at center was very. It kind of summed up USC's defense for the past 5 years, as this one is lined down the left field line, foul.
Who did USC play in their bowl game this year? I can't remember.
Texas A&M.
And they crushed them, if I'm not mistaken.
Kind of. Second half, they crushed them. It was 24-7 at one point in the game with Texas A&M up, and USC ended up winning the game, I believe, 35-31, and what was just, a game that maybe a million people watched. I mean, there was not a ton of people.
Yeah, those were two high-value teams coming into the season, I remember. A&M ranked number 1 in the SEC at one point this past year.
Marsh comes home and fires that one outside. Yeah, both teams were very highly touted, but USC couldn't figure it out at quarterback and had a few close calls, quite a few close games. And Texas A&M themselves just really had a tough year.
Yeah, losing a Heisman winner for USC has got to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think for USC specifically football-wise this year, it's kind of a do-or-die year for Lincoln Riley. I would not be shocked if another 6-6 year yields Riley being fired.
Yeah, he hasn't been that incredible since coming over from Oklahoma, has he?
Nope, not at all. Funny enough, my next-door neighbor who now lives in Norman, Oklahoma, and went to the school as Ladahoff will go down swinging, who went to the school, he said that Lincoln was not going to be able to survive in the Pac-12, much less the Big Ten. And very true. He has not been able to survive in either league. Kind of gotten the defense figured out, which is a good thing. And the recruiting standing and everything looks pretty solid, but they had to kind of tell him to return to recruiting in California.
Yeah, my uncle went to OU, so I've also heard my fair share of Lincoln Riley hate.
Yep.
A lot of OU fans not happy with him, especially taking Caleb Williams from them.
Yeah, Caleb, I mean, he's a great guy. He's definitely, when you meet him, he's very, very stand-up guy, very astute, very educated. So that's a swing and a miss from Hideki Prather coming out of Gonzaga Prep in Washington, D.C. He's a guy who really has grown up, with a loving family, and he's grown up, kind of nurtured to be a great football player and a great person in general, and he has been that every time that I've seen him or, been able to meet him. He's been great.
You've met Caleb Williams?
I have met Caleb Williams. Very funny story. I was walking to a USC water polo game, and the guy walking on the other side of, if you know where the way USC is mapped out, is here comes the 1-2 from Marsh, the campus, the football locker room is right next to the pool, or kind of right next to the pool. And so they're about across the street from each other, about, I'd say, a couple, like maybe 50 yards from each other. And anyways, Caleb was walking out as I was walking into the pool, and that was kind of a cool moment for me. That was at the spring game. That was before he had even played a single down of actual full competitive football for USC. So it was very cool. I got to see him pretty much secure the Heisman against Notre Dame a couple years ago. That was a very fun game. And I mean, last year was slightly depressing, but next year, depending on where I go to college, it's going to be, I most likely will no longer be as much of a diehard USC fan as I have been. The 1-2, Prather grounds this one to second. They'll toss on to short to get the out, and the Packers will be held scoreless despite the double from Jacob French. We'll head to the top of inning number 8. 6-2, Packers lead it. We'll be right back.
It's Hawaiian Shirt Night, sponsored by Clay Nesbitt. So bring those Hawaiian
And we're back. We've got a lot of defensive changes for the Packers, including a new pitcher. We've got Logan Addison now on the bump. Hard-throwing right-hander from Texas Tech out of Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, so pitch mix there. Madison, fastball and sinker, along with a slider and curveball. Definitely favors the fastball. High velo on that, so look out.
Yeah, Logan Addison, at a time this year, earlier on in the season, he had 9 of the 10 hardest thrown pitches. But defensive shifting, we have a new center fielder. It is Jonathan Kim in center now. And I believe we might have a new left fielder out there that does not look like Jacob French. That could be Kim in center. It seems like, no, I am mistaken. It is Kim in left and in center, Jay Souza. I am not sure. That does appear to be Souza out there. But, see, that's where when Sean has his binoculars here, it makes it a lot easier. We don't know, though.
Definitely missing him this week. Our point streak guy.
Yeah, because both have the same glasses. That is how I identify Jonathan Kim. He is, in fact, in left field, coming in for Jacob French.
I still don't have that down. I can't tell any of these guys apart from up here. Might be my vision.
Yeah, it could be. You might need to go get your eyes checked. I don't know. Did you see that promotion that one company was running that they would give free eye surgery, as this one's chopped down the left field line foul? They would give free eye surgery to any referee at any professional sport.
I did not see that. That's probably needed. Some of the refs we've been seeing around here.
Yes. Yeah.
Or
no.
umpires. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, referees, umpires. I don't know if you've seen, but there's supposed to be an automatic ball and strike system, ABS system, coming to the All-Star game this year. They're gonna have ball and strike challenges, as that one is in there for a called strike.
That's gonna be the All-Star game this year.
It is. It's gonna be an All-Star.
I remember seeing that in the minors this year. I was a big fan of it. As long as they limit the usage, I think it could really help some egregious calls that happen every once in a while.
I agree. I mean, being a Giants fan, you got to look at it all ways. Being a journalist and everything, is the 0-2 is swung on and hit a high chopper, fielded on the bounce by Sutter. He throws on to first, one down. Looking at it, from the other direction, I saw a lot of Phillies fans that were not happy with that inning, the way that inning was called. A lot of those pitches on the outside corner that were in the zone clearly were called balls. And so, went back and looked at the umpire scorecard, and there wasn't that much of a change. But, I can see it there, that situation causing a lot of, the way that game ended, causing a lot of animosity towards the umpires.
Addison really running up the velo right now, throwing 95 on his four-seam fastball just to get it by Tristan.
And Russell has been one of the best hitters in the PEL this year. He fouls that one off. Big clump of dust and dirt.
Really seems like the hitters can't catch up to Addison's fastball today.
Well, they haven't been able to catch up to Mann's fastball, haven't been able to catch up to Hattenbach's fastball, and now having trouble catching up to the fastball of Logan Addison. This is a much-needed, efficient inning for Addison. That one is inside, and it clips the zone, painted perfectly.
Absolutely painted there. Inside the zone completely. Just a great call by the ump. Love to see it.
Yeah, Logan Addison might want to change his name there. He might want to make his name more European. He's clearly a painter right now. Do you have a favorite painter? Or a favorite artist?
I mean, not really. I love my cousin. My cousin's an artist, so got to give a shout out to her, Janie Stapleton. But other than that, not much.
That one's fouled off by Jason Hansen.
94 again there. Really turning up the heat.
Actually, that's not Hansen. We have a new hitter, I believe number 35 for the Potters. It is Everett Johnson. So Johnson out of Sonoma, California, going to UC Davis. I was talking about him earlier. but problematically, I did say Emmett Johnson, got his name confused, but Everett Johnson, got to see him play earlier this year against Stanford when he was with the Aggies, and he has been a huge part of that lineup, especially as the leadoff man. He's a speedy guy, has a lot of power, a lot of speed. Davis looking at a lot of those guys out of NorCal that have that kind of archetype. Thinking about one that's very close, Jack Pizzolo, who has a good mixture of power and speed.
Runs it by him again with 94 on the fastball. Four-seamer there.
So Addison definitely using what the hitters can't hit, which is his fastball. That has been something he's been working on all year here. Well, excuse me, all summer. The 2-2 with 2 down. Addison winds, kicks, and deals. That one is hit hard on the ground. Ladoff makes a great play at first. He'll touch on the bag, and that will retire the side. So we'll be right back. Bottom of the 8th. Looming here. Packers still hold their lead at 4, 6-2. We'll be right back. All right, we are right back. And it's going to be Antonelli Savatere to lead things off. New pitcher is Tyler Hutchinson. He's posted a 2.84 ERA in 9 games, 12 and 2/3 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, only 8 walks. Issued 16 hits, though, and he has a 1-0 record. So Potters looking for him to have a lockdown inning, get their bats back up there for what they will need, a big 9th inning. This one doinked off of one of the poles. Little ode to John Madden. Don't think he's a Raiders fan, but Ryan Moffitt, who normally is our broadcaster, he's not here today. He's on brief. I don't know what to call it because it's not completely.
Hiatus?
Is it a hiatus? It's not really a complete vacation either. He is working part of it.
It's up in Tahoe, correct?
Yeah, he's working in the ACC Championship along with a few other of our broadcasters, Jacob Van Rolkel and Nico Horning. So we wish them all the best. 1-1 coming to Savatere.
Looking at
Pitch is fouled off and out of play.
Looking at Hutchinson between innings, looks like he throws a combination of a sinker, slider, and changeup, with a sinker sitting around mid-80s. Should be interesting to see how he tunnels those and throws those pitches.
And the Packers, no doubt, are going to be looking for some insurance.
Got to get out of slam range here.
Yeah, so now 1-2 with no outs. Savateri takes that one downstairs. 2-2.
Slider there, 77 miles per hour. Not crazy velo on the slider, but very good horizontal and vertical movement.
Here comes the 2-2. Outside. Savateri lays it off. Count now goes 3-2. Savateri's college teammate, Souza, on deck. Savateri goes. And he is struck out by Hutchinson.
Great pitch there, just right on the outside corner. Low and away, painted.
So now it'll be Jay Souza. We'll do a little bit of an out-of-town score check here. The Rogues and Crabs are currently facing off against each other, and Humboldt has had a big start to that game. In the top of the fourth, the Crabs lead 7-2. If the Crabs can earn a win, they are kind of controlling their own destiny to the PEL championship, which will be against the Packers, and that should be a very, very good game.
Is that already set in stone? It's going to be the Packers this year?
Well, we don't know. We obviously it's not set in stone, but I have calculated the magic number that the Packers need to win of PEL games, of the remaining games. They need to win 9 to 10 games. If they can win 9 to 10 games, it would keep them around 3, 4, maybe 5 losses, which would put them, if they win tonight, would put them in second or first in the top 2 to be in the PEL championship. But right now, if all things were said and done after tonight, it would be the Packers and the Crabs. See, this is where if you're Medford, you host the Crabs and you host the Potters, you need to win this weekend against the Potters.
Big games coming up.
Yeah. 3-1 now to Souza, and he fouls it off.
Great battle here by Souza. Really protecting the plate on those inside pitches, or outside pitches, pardon me.
Pitch is inside and Souza walks.
Now batting UC San Diego, number 5, Alex Leopard.
Who do you got for your pick for player of the game today, Hugo?
Don't know just about yet. I mean, earlier on today, I was thinking Asario Guard was going to do it again to keep his streak going of home runs, and I mean, he did.
That 3-run homer is huge right now.
Yeah, but that came off the bat of Blake Grimmer. So
that is my bad.
The question is do we go Grimmer, do we go a Guard, or do we look at the man who's pretty much, he put the Packers ahead to start things off, has 2 of those 6 RBIs, and has been a big impact player on defense, Antonelli Savateri. So we'll have to weigh our options and see what we get. Souza leads away at first. Man at the plate is Alex Leopard.
Slider outside.
Blake Thomas, our own analytics guy. He was shared a few practices with Leopard at Annaley High School. The 2-0. That one is lined into the gap in left center field. Moving in on it is the center fielder. He'll let it drop. That's going to kiss up against the wall over by the football scoreboard. They're going to wave Souza around. The throw in is not in time. Souza will score. And into second with an RBI double. Back-to-back doubles for Alex Leopard.
Would have been a home run in most other parts of the park there. 339 projected on the feet there. 96 off the bat.
And that's a home run at most other Empire League ballparks and maybe some minor league ballparks and even some major league ballparks. But great contact, great speed from Alex Leopard. He's a guy who is pretty much as close as you can get to a 5-tool player. Throws quickly, he can run quick, he can hit for contact, hit for power. Got great fielding. One down now for Alec Burge, who comes in for Logan Sutter.
Hutchinson's thrown a lot of sinkers today. Very good on the horizontal break, not much vert, so they're sinking very well arm side. Just running away from those batters.
We'll see what Burge can do here in the 8th to continue this Packer offense. On deck is Jonathan Kim. He will sub in for Jacob French as Burge watches that one go by for a called strike.
Slider inside there, just at the knees.
So one down, runner at second, 0-2 count coming to Burge. The star catcher swings and chops this one up the middle, but it is foul. Bounced on home plate. Good call by the home plate umpire there. So count will stay 0-2 for Burge. The pitch inside, and it
Did it hit him?
did it hit him. I think
Looks like it did not.
if it did, he's just gonna shake it off and get his teammate to third there, give himself a better chance at getting an RBI. A 1-2 count now. Burge. Great job by him to get out of the way and motion the runner over. The 1-2. Chopped foul.
Another changeup here from Hutchinson. Just getting those runners or batters ahead of it.
Seven to 2, your score. The Packers lead it over the Potters. The 1-2 coming from Hutchinson. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. That is sinker on the outside corner.
Yes, it was. 86 miles per hour there. Velo's not crazy, but the arm side break against the left-handed hitter, just running away from him.
And now he'll face another lefty, get another great chance. It is going to be Jonathan Kim.
Yeah, the lefty-righty matchup here looks favorable. With this guy's sinker, I'm not too sure. It's coming out of the hand towards the batter and just running straight arm side away.
Kim fouls that one off. So Packers left 7 stranded yesterday en route to that 5-4 victory. They're definitely cleaning that up today. The one is swung on and driven deep, but foul off towards the big oak tree out in right field. Packers so far have only left 4 or 5 runners on base. Pretty good comparatively to their 7 last night. The pitch is swung on and fouled, nearly hitting a guard in the on-deck circle.
Look out.
And for the Potters, funny enough, they only left 2 runners on base last night. So
It's a rough loss, not getting many base runners.
yeah, Packers were dominant against the Potters last night. Potters will look to flip the script tomorrow, game 3 for the series. This would be a huge game 2 win for the Packers, and as I mentioned, this would pretty much disregarding some crazy changes.
Yeah, interesting going away, home and away for the Packers this week. Just a lot of travel.
But regarding unless the league, both the Packers, the Rogues, and the Crabs started losing a ton of games, Lincoln with this loss would most likely draw their percentage to make the championship drops very low. If they can salvage this series tomorrow, they're going to have to win out in PEL play to even get a sniff at making the championship game like they did last year. The 1-2 inside, and it hit him.
I do think that one did hit him.
Yeah, that one was off of his calf protector.
Fortunately, it was a slider. Crazy velo there. Still at 78 though, so got a sting.
Yeah, especially on the calf.
These guys take it like champs. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be on the ground out there.
And now there's going to be a meeting on the mound. Potters definitely want to limit as much pitchers as they go through, as they after this series they will head to Medford, and then they're going to have a tough set of games up there. H&D Field, definitely a tough place to play. Packers took 1 of 2 against the Rogues after facing the Potters will come here for a 3-game series from Tuesday to Thursday next week. That'll be a fun one.
Good baseball coming up.
Yeah. So now JC, a guard, will stand in. 2 down. Paniagua giving instructions to the middle infielders about if Kim were to steal. Kim is a fast runner, and he'll take a decent-sized lead. Now, as a guard, well, wait, the pitch runs inside, and it's a called ball. 1-0 with 2 down. Strong lead for Kim. Hutchinson comes center and fires. Fouled off, 1-1.
Tops that sinker foul right behind him.
Packers, 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Clean game for them. This is something that have been few and far between with the amount of errors committed in these games. This one's grounded up the middle. It'll be an easy play for the shortstop, Russell. He'll tap on the bag, and we'll head to a break. Thank you for joining us here on the Prune Packers YouTube network. 7-2, Packers will look to close things out in the 9th. All right, we're back here. It is the top of the 9th inning. New pitcher in for the Packers. It is the hard-throwing, tall two-way player from the University of Michigan, Keegan O'Hearn.
Yeah, this guy's velo is something else. Topping 97 so far in the year. Highest thrown Packer we have.
Oh, my goodness.
Mainly throws sinkers, throws in a slider here and there, but that last pitch in there at 97, just low.
Yeah, and Ty McGraw is swinging out of his shoes at that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That 97, oh, my goodness, that is the fastest pitch we have seen out of a Packer, and that is the fastest pitch I've seen out of any pitcher that is not professional. This one skied out into left field, and over on it, quickly making the move to make the catch is Jonathan Kim. I don't even know how these guys are touching that.
It's incredible. I didn't even get a bat on this ball.
Yeah, so now we'll have a new hitter in for the Potters.
Yeah, 3 pitches right there. Over 90, 96 or over.
It's going to be Aiden Shang out of St. Mary's College.
Got to look out there. That 96-mile-per-hour sinker running inside has to move out of the way.
And it's a 1-0 count now from O'Hearn. Swing and a miss.
Way late.
The Packer faithful still strong, albeit a lot of Packer fans have left, assuming this game to be a pretty cut and dry finish. Packers up 7-2. This one's fouled off. I am under the impression, and I always ride with this impression, that win or lose, unless your team's down by like 20 to 30 runs, don't leave the ballpark. Enjoy the ballpark. Have you had any situations like that at Penn State? I mean, Penn State doesn't lose a lot at home in any sport.
I've definitely had some baseball games I'd left thinking they were over either for one way, either my team was winning or losing, and then it ends up being just an incredible game.
Yeah, the one time I've done that was I had to get home early from an A's-Giants game, and that game went extras. And speaking of Angel Pagan, who Jacob mentioned earlier, there was a fan wearing an Angel Pagan jersey. Angel Pagan hit a grand slam in that game at the Oakland Coliseum to give the Giants a 14-10 win in 10 innings. It was a game that I was very sad because I made it to 9, and then in the 9th we left and we heard the roar in the 10th. There were a ton of Giants fans there. I remember the day like it was yesterday, September 26, 2015.
That was a rough one to miss. I remember 2 summers ago down in San Diego for a Padres-Dodgers game. We're sitting up right behind first base, above the dugout. My sister and mom wanted to leave, so we left. About 30 seconds later, just walking up the stairs, foul ball lands right in our seats.
That is
horrible.
That is tough. O'Hearn issues a walk here to Chang.
Velo's still there, topping 97 with great horizontal run on his sinker. Only sinker so far, too, just trying to blow it by everyone.
Yeah, now Ryan Lee from UC Davis will stand in here with the Potters. He swings and misses at that one. Sun setting here in Healdsburg, California. It's a beautiful night for baseball. With 1 out.
See a little fan down there wearing a Fernando Tatis City Connect jersey. Great choice.
Yeah. Some would argue that Fernando was a cheater.
Some would argue that, and they might be right, but I disagree.
0-2. The pitch is
just outside. Good call by the ump.
And now a ground ball is likely a game ender here, so if you're Lee, you're looking to put something in the air or put something through. And he takes that one, frozen by the heat.
Got out of the way, but that was right there in the bottom of the zone. Painted. Going back to the sinker.
So now Braden Sharp stands in. He struck out his last time up. So this spot has been plagued by strikeouts. Brian Williams struck out twice. And, well, Sharp, he'll get hit sharply.
That's got to hurt. 96 there again. Leave a mark there on his elbow.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And now it's going to be Cole Eaton, who homered his last time up. And a home run here would be huge for the Potters, albeit this would be against a guy who's throwing 97. So Cole Eaton would then add something to his definitely add something to his highlight reel.
Yeah, with that ball coming in so hot, they can get hold of it. That ball's going to go far. Good chance at a home run.
2 down now. The pitch. O'Hearn leaves that one upstairs. It'll get through the glove of Hideki Prather, and both runners move up.
Yeah, I can't imagine catching this 97-mile-per-hour fastball. I get why he's dropping it.
And that one was way up.
You think you could catch one of these, Hugo?
No.
What do you think's happening?
No, not at all.
Getting a black eye?
Nah, I don't know. I was trying to catch a sweeper that didn't sweep earlier on this year.
I think that's called a fastball.
Yeah. I was told, motioned to me sweeper, and I went to, with the break of the sweeper, it broke arm side and broke right into my chin. My chin was fine, though.
I do remember that little mark you had on your chin for that one game.
Yeah, that was fine, though.
Got a little chuckle out of that.
Yeah, the 1-1 is fouled straight back. And here we go. Cole Eaton, the claps are going to start here. Nolan starting them here at Rec Park. 1-2. Packer faithful on their feet. Packers looking to close out game 2 and win the series heading into tomorrow. O'Hearn fires, and that one is upstairs. 2-2.
Yeah. Good thing they got that run in the last inning, getting out of slam range.
And now with runners on second and third. Claps restart here at Rec Park. O'Hearn deals. Fouled off. That one was jammed, and he fouled it off. That's got to hurt.
No one's able to catch up to his sinker today. Love to see it.
Hey, he got that off the thin part of the bat there.
Surprised it's still intact.
Yeah, that was whatever bat he has, I want that one. The 2-2. Upstairs and outside, 3-2. So here we go. If you're Cole Eaton, not exactly the picture you draw up when you're younger and you're in your backyard. Runners on second and third. Home run here would do your team a whole lot of good. He fouls it off. Eaton continues to battle.
Nothing but fastballs here from O'Hearn, just trying to blow it by him.
You might as well. Eaton's going to kind of have a guessing game. Not many guys can beat a nearly 100-mile-an-hour fastball. At least we've seen that with Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, got to give the hitter some credit here, catching up.
3-2. Fouled off again. Eaton battling. The claps here at Rec Park keep getting louder and louder, and Eaton's bat keeps making contact.
Somehow hasn't broken that yet. Twig's still alive.
O'Hearn waits, fires, fouled off again. And this is the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Only sinker so far, too. I'd expect he's coming right back at him.
We'll see. Full count, 2 down. The pitch, and Eaton walks.
It was high. Couldn't get the call there.
So loaded bases now for the man at the bottom of the order.
Got to give some credit to Eaton there. That was an incredible at-bat to keep the game alive for the Potters.
And now loaded bases in the 9th. And that run, as you mentioned, gets him out of slam range. But it's Ethan Lau from Dublin, California, going to Gardner-Webb University in Cary, North Carolina. 2 down, the pitch inside. A lot of players play at Gardner-Webb growing up, but they don't know that they're playing at Gardner-Webb. They're playing in Cary. They're enjoying Little League. And sometimes, you look at Cary's kind of a center of a lot of American youth sports. So that one is blown past for a swinging strike. 1-1 now.
Velo's still staying up here for O'Hearn. Still at 97. Incredible.
The 1-1 with 2 down. O'Hearn continuing his outing, looking for the close. This one is lined, and Antonelli Savateri makes the catch. That's the ball game. The Packers win it 7-2. 7 runs on 12 hits. No errors for the Packers. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the visiting Lincoln Potters. The Packers move to 23-2, and they will head to Lincoln tomorrow to try and get the sweep. We'll be back on Friday night when the California Red Tails come to town. Should be a good one. That one will be at 6 p.m. But finally, for our analytics guys, Emmett and Jacob, and our producer, Nolan Brenner, I've been Hugo Traverso. Thanks for joining us. Packers get the win 7-2. Adios.